I want to know, have you always stayed true to yourself, even when there was times of trouble?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you have no choice, man. It's like, you know, I had to use my brain to get out of stuff. We dealt like, you know, especially at my age, you don't really see people my age like being relevant. Usually the old school hip hop version of like being old is like they toss you away, like, all right, you did whatever, but you know, even like, you know, academics like kind of like dissed like the old school rappers, they looking dusty and stuff like that. You see how all of them came back. It was furious. It's just a different time zone, but I'm just lucky to understand like the transitions, because I think dealing with music, you have to like learn and see how you could grow with it and then still keep being like relevant in a certain way. Either I still do radio. Radio is a help too. Interviewing, it keeps you like, you know, you can't really, I mean, Ted Koppel, I looked up to like Ted Koppel and what's his name with the he had like the Hunchback. I forgot his name. He had a kid at 90 or something.
What?
Wow.
You know what I'm talking about, right? He does like the CBS show. He always interviews people. Larry King.
Oh, okay.
So I looked up to guys like that, and obviously Howard Stern. So Howard Stern, like I said earlier, like he made me go interview all the losers of Hollywood, but all the losers are like mega superstars now. So you got like I said, Chris Hemsworth, Hugh Jackman, like like Vin Diesel. Like I interviewed him. He had like some whack movie called Number 1 and 2. It was terrible, but look where he is now, and he's my homie. So it's like you gain relationships from doing a great interview. People just vibe to you, and they never forget. Like all these actors never forget like the first interview or who believed in them. They never forget. So I learned that, and then 100 actors later. And then the cool thing about doing that, if you interview like CD, the PR is your friend, like the PR services. So PR is like, all right, so since you interviewed and whatever, Boogaboo, who's terrible, but I got the Kardashians. So because you did me a favor, all right, when I bring the Kardashians up, I'll give you 10 minutes of the Kardashians. So that's how I got cool with the Kardashians. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, I knew Kim longer before, but when they became big, it was like impossible to get them. But because I interviewed, because a lot of these PR people, they have like 10, 20 people under their company. So because you hook them up and then maybe give them a look, they'll give you 5-10 minutes in hip hop is like, you got 5-10 minutes with Robert De Niro, that's crazy, that's enough. Like, you know, I don't need an hour, and then sometimes it could lead to that. But that's like years of your experience of being on radio. But in the beginning, I was just taking, I took it as a challenge to myself. You know, like, I mean, I had the what was that guy? The chubby comedian, the Mexican guy, like the fluffy, like
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, like I had him, like nobody know how to interview him up here, but I was like, bring him on, let's do it. But it's all about research, you know. You see me do research right in front of you.
Yeah.
All right, let's go. Let's pull this up. But the thing is, I read Google and info. I read right through it, and then I just create like my own world. But I need these like facts in the back of my head.
Yeah.
You understand? So once you have those facts in the back of your head, you don't want to sound like everybody asking the same question. Because somebody else got asked that.
Because then it's not authentic anymore.
It's not. It's like, you know, they're coming up here, they're doing 10, 12 channels, and then they're all they're looking at the same list, and they're media trained, so they have to do it like that. Because they're not real personalities. They're gonna ask questions A, B, and then they go straight to music. Me, I'm just like, we could talk, chop it up, and then I play like a lot of their songs. But they'll chop it up with them, and then they play Bow Wow song after. Like the artist is not Bow Wow, you know. But they don't care here. It's just like, it's just very generic, and then I refuse to be that guy. But Howard Stern like kind of like saved my life with the interview techniques. And then I went to Opie and Anthony, which is Howard Stern's enemy. So I mastered to be on Howard Stern and Opie and Anthony. So I was a character on Opie and Anthony, which is super unheard of. You don't see like characters from Howard Stern gravitating to Opie and Anthony. So I kind of like mastered it where I'm the only, I think being black kind of helps too. So I don't know, I made it, I survived it. And that world is like middle America, and I survived that. They love me over there because I understand how they think. 'Cause a lot of the racism comes from like people not understanding like how other people live, where they're from, communication, how they were raised. Because even where I live, like if a white kid comes through, like where I was at, I'd be like, oh, what's this white kid doing here? But that's like natural reaction. Like we're not gonna like beat them up and stuff like that, like the way they beat us up. But I'm just saying, like the first question would be like, what is this white kid doing in this neighborhood? But I never had like evil thoughts like, yo, let's get him out of here. Like, but that, that's the problem. Black people are so forgiving. All the stuff we've been through, even all the stuff we still go through, we're still forgiving.
I want to know, can you describe yourself in 2 words?
Scooby-Doo. And it worked. Got me out of mad trouble. Out of trouble with 50 Cent, Eminem, police. Got me out of a lot of arrests. I don't have a license. I'm not a criminal, but I haven't had a license in 30 years. But 90% of the cops were mixtape fans. So I'd be like, ooh, they're like, yo, kid, all right, man, you good, man? Yo, let's get out of here. So I gotta call somebody to come get the car, or, I've been through a lot and they just let me go. I think I got locked up once, but central booking, they give me like a desk warrant. And all right, because the thing is, I didn't say who I was, because 50 Cent was like, I think he had a song going at cops and stuff. So I was like, let me just not say my name. I'm in the back of the car hiding and stuff. But when I got there, they had me handcuffed, and then a lot of the young black cops, or even the young cops, period, they were like, yo, what are you doing? This is who kid? What's going on here? Get him out of here. So they put me in this thing called the McDonald room. So that's where they put the celebrities that get locked up, and then they give you McDonald's, and then I just didn't like saying G-Unit stories like to the cops. Like, they be sitting there like when I'm telling them, or I'm telling like the inmates in there too. Like, but that I don't know. Maybe I'm just like I'm just straight Scooby-Doo, man. That's the way you survive. Like, I'm 50. I'm gonna be 52 this year, and still doing crazy stuff at 52. Because when my dad was 40, he didn't look like me. He looked like a real Haitian. Like, I didn't want to hang with him. That's the thing. Like, nowadays, I feel like, it's cool to have kids want to hang with the parents. Back then, Caribbean parents were so strict, even African parents. I can imagine like a young kid, and I gotta hang with a parent that's like blocked off or in that box of being traditional, because it's like everything you say is like messed up. No, you're not supposed to do that. No, you're supposed to be in school. No, you're supposed to study. No, because they're really looking out for you, but they're not doing it in a cool way where they could be like, you know what? I want this guy to hang with me. I want this girl to like, maybe let's go out. Let's go eat. Let's go. Like, I never went to eat with my parents. Like, we would do family stuff, but not like, yo, let's go to the restaurant. Let's go to Noble. Oh, let's go here. Let's go. I'm like, nah, it's not happening. Nah. Because I wouldn't know what to say. I wouldn't know what to talk. He's not interested in what I got going on. And what am I going to talk about? Blueprint? Like, we need to pull out like blueprints of like buildings and stuff. And we're like going through this. Like, I'm trying to eat like spaghetti, like going through like, it's like he just became like this generic person. Like, he's just in a cubicle. Like, it's like, there is a matrix out there. People get up 8 hours, go to work, come back home. And that was my dad. Like, we knew when he's coming back. Turn the TV off, grab a book, act like you're reading. One of my friends had the book upside down. Yeah, it's like, my phone was like, what is this? What is this book upside down? My phone was like, yo, man, that's how, but it should never be like that.
It shouldn't.
Yeah, it should just be like, yo, what up, Dad? What's going on? How was, not how was work? Because it's like, I took a summer job there. It was boring. It's like, I don't know. I just couldn't do it, man. And then there's some people that got fun jobs, but my parents was like, it's like you're an engineer and that's all he thrived for. There's mad other things to do. Like,
yeah, there is.
I do 20 things. Like, I love traveling, art. I love traveling. Video games. I work like crazy. So that's the only Caribbean background I have. I could do 10 jobs at once. and I can't sit still for like 3-4 days. I have to keep working.
Hmm.
So some people, it's like, you know, they don't want to go to work, but I don't mind working, and if I die, I'm gonna die working. I don't mind. Like, I don't want to retire and just sit still and, you know, changing my Pampers and stuff. That's not happening. Like, I work out too. I try to, like, now I gotta change my diet. So there's a lot of things when you become a person like me, but it's good to learn, especially when you're a kid, you know.
So I want to know, because you're Haitian, do you think about opening up a place where you train other people that want to become DJs in Haiti?